Welcome to Friday Friends, RI Elder Info's weekly look at the organizations and individuals providing resources for Rhode Island seniors, caregivers, and professionals.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. 9 a.m. on Friday. Every Friday, I join you here for Friday Friends. For those of you who are just joining for the first time, I am Deb Burton, and I am the Executive Director of RI Elder Info. RI Elder Info is a 501c3 nonprofit located here in Rhode Island, and we bring the most comprehensive resources for seniors, caregivers, and professionals out to the community and wherever you might need it so that you can get the information that you need to remain independent for as long as possible. Now, like I said, we are a 501c3, and what we do wouldn't be possible without the support of our donors and our sponsors. So big shout out to Town Fair Tires Foundation. That was an amazing donation that they have sent in. Very grateful for that. We have our organizational supporters, Oak Street Health. They have locations in Providence on Branch Ave and over on Broad Street by the old St. Joe's Hospital, Rhode Island directions. Also in Warwick by the Christmas Tree Shop, Stop and Shop Plaza, and Woonsocket. Oak Street Health provides comprehensive primary care, and they take most insurances here in the state. One of the cool things is they also provide transportation to the doctor's office. We also have a support from United Healthcare. Our friends at United Healthcare offer a plan for individuals for both Medicare and Original Medicare, so you can get more benefits at no extra cost to you. I encourage you to reach out to my friend Jennifer Barrows over there. Her number is the 248-2982. Super great person, and they speak multiple languages there, so we can make sure that we're reaching all of Rhode Island. That's really important. Also, Tamarisk Assisted Living, a little assisted living that has a feel like home over by the mall in Warwick. Easy on, easy off the highway. And Susan and Sean will take care of your loved ones like they are their own. And also, the magic that you are seeing right now is because of D&B Media. And if you've ever visited the rielderinfo.com webpage, you've seen the work of England Studio. So I am grateful for all of our supporters, all of our donors. It really does enable us to bring this information out to the public. It's critical. Also, before I forget, I wanted to mention on December 2nd, RA Elder Info is holding a training for professionals on hoarding, the 3 R's of hoarding: recognition, resources, and realistic actions. That's going to be a full day training event. There will be continuing education units available for many different professions. I encourage you to visit the rielderinfo.com website so that you can get more information about my speakers and the agenda. And we are grateful to the sponsorship of Neighborhood Health, the Substance Use Mental Health Leadership Council, Cove Homes, East Greenwich Housing. There are some really amazing sponsors who are enabling us to bring this training out for the professionals out there. So speaking of professionals, I am super excited to have you all meet someone who I know has really one of the most coolest jobs around. I would love to welcome Justyn Charon from the Vet Center up. Hey, Justyn.
Hi, Deb. How are you doing?
Good, good. I tell you all the time, you have the coolest job. You are out and about, boy, everywhere, all the time. It seems like 7 days a week. Do you ever get a break?
I do.
Oh,
Especially
good.
these. It's Veterans Day was yesterday, and that's the end of the busy season for those of us that work in Veterans Affairs. So we will have events throughout the winter, but it slows down considerably.
Great. So, can you tell our viewers what is the Vet Center and what is your role at the Vet Center?
Absolutely. So I run the Providence Vet Center here in Rhode Island. We are the only vet center here in Rhode Island. We are a part of the VA. I know when a lot of people hear VA, they automatically think medical center. We are a completely separate part from the medical center. We are both a part of the VA, and we'll get back to that in a second. But here at the Vet Center, we do readjustment counseling services for our combat veterans and their families. So you can come into the Vet Center, which is located on 2038 Warwick Avenue, just behind TF Green Airport. So again, we are not located at the medical center. We are a separate installation. But you can come in here and you can see one of our clinicians, of which we have 8. We have males, we have females, we have veterans, we have civilians. We'll find somebody that you're comfortable seeing. But in addition to the clinical services that we offer here at the Vet Center, we also do a lot of activities. That's where my job comes into play. We're always looking for opportunities to get veterans involved with other veterans. Here at the Vet Center, we have a myriad of different groups, everything from yoga, mindfulness, art therapy group, which is my personal favorite. Our art group is really fantastic. It's a great mix of veterans. We have a lot of fun. But we also do things like guitar for veterans. We've done about 7 or 8 different fishing charters for our veterans this year. We actually just took some veterans tuna fishing this past Sunday. That will be our last charter for the season. Sadly, we did not catch any tuna. We did catch a bunch of bluefish, though, and we had a really good time. But in addition to all of those activities, as Deb mentioned, I'm always out in the community trying to find veterans to tell them about the Vet Center. I've been at a lot of parades this year. We did the Gatsby Days Parade, the Bristol 4th of July Parade. I just did the North Kingstown Veterans Day Parade yesterday. We were at the Charlestown Seafood Festival, the Wickford Art Festival, the Washington County Fair. So like I said, there's only one vet center here in Rhode Island, so we want to make sure that we're catching all of the veterans, which is why it seems like I'm always all over the place. So I want to thank Deb again for having me on her show. This is a fantastic way for me to reach out to the veterans community and let them know about the fantastic things that we do here at the Vet Center. Most of us here are veterans. I'm a Marine myself. We have Air Force, we have Navy, we have Army in the building. Everything that we do here is confidential and it's free. So if you come into a vet center, that information stays with us. It's not just some, catchy phrase that we use to get you in the building. This is congressionally mandated confidentiality. So if you're on active duty, if you have a security clearance, if you're a veteran that just wants to fly under the radar but still get the help that you need and that you've earned, come to the vet center. We'll sneak you out the back window if we have to. If that's what makes you feel comfortable, I promise you, we've done worse. So come on in. Let us help you. It's just a friendly, low-key place for veterans to come in, get the help that they need, have a good time with other veterans, and hopefully, you leave feeling better. And, you can go out into the world and really, work on improving yourself.
Justyn, you do some really, really cool things. Sorry to hear you didn't catch any fish last weekend.
I was disappointed. I really wanted that photo of, some veterans holding a monster tuna. But sadly, we didn't get it this time, but I have high hopes for next season.
Well, they do call it fishing, not catching.
We said that several times during our trip.
Yeah. And so we've had the guitars for vets on Friday Friends, amazing programs. So with all these programs that are available through the Vet Center or that you're able to connect veterans with, what's the goal of these programs? Is it counseling? Is it just community engagement? Is it something else? What is the purpose of having all these different things, these different opportunities for folks to engage with?
Yeah, so all of the above. I always tell veterans that veterans do better with other veterans. We get each other. We understand the experiences, and shared experiences are such a huge part of being a part of the veteran community here, and we want to foster that. So you can come in, and it doesn't matter if you're learning to play guitar, or if you're doing art therapy or yoga, you're going to be around other veterans. And because you're at the Vet Center, naturally, you're going to be around clinicians. So you can come here and you can get that experience. I call it the filters. You can drop all your filters when you come in here and you can just relax. You can be yourself. It doesn't matter if you're around a Vietnam veteran, a World War II veteran, an OEF, OIF veteran. It's the same thing. It's just like talking to the same exact person. You're going to have slight variations in experience, but for the most part, they're going to get it and they're going to get you. So we want you to come in. We want you to be able to relax when you come in. And again, we don't care which group you're doing. Just come in, and if you need to talk to somebody, we have all these clinicians available. So it really is, it's a good spot for veterans to come in, feel safe, feel respected, and get the help that they need.
And so, what kinds of clinicians do you have? Is it psychiatrists, psychologists? Is it case managers? Is it counselors? What types of clinicians? What kind of additional help might somebody be able to receive?
Right. So we have licensed clinical social workers here, and we also have two psychologists. We have marriage and family therapists. We do all sorts of counseling here, everything from individual counseling, group counseling, marriage counseling, couples counseling. If you have children that have been affected by, your being in the military, whether that's from, repeated deployments or just, just being a part of a military family can be a challenge, especially for children. They don't understand, really what's going on. And that's a big part of what the vet center does is it's not just for the veterans, it's for your family as well. And if you call them family, we're going to call them family. So don't be like, oh, it's my best friend. They've been taking care of me since, I got back, that's my family, but, technically they're not. We don't play that game. If you call them family, we call them family, bring them in, we'll find a way to help.
That's amazing. So the resources that are available at the vet center are not limited to just the veteran, but to their families and their children. They can receive help there too.
Absolutely. As long as it's associated with the veteran service, come on in. We'll find a way to help.
Wow. And how, other than, the fact that you're in Warwick, you're right over by Dave, not too far from Dave's Market behind the airport. So,
Right.
it's not like you're far
No, I
by
always
Rhode
say
Island standards.
we're the Providence Vet Center, confusingly located in Warwick, Rhode Island.
Oh, that's okay. They tell you when you fly into TF Green, you're flying into Providence too, but we know the reality.
Rhode Islanders do, yes.
Exactly. Yes. So you are like genuinely at events across the state. Um, are you finding that there are a lot of veterans who are reaching out to the vet center, maybe more so lately than before? Is it something that is getting utilized a lot? Because if I recall correctly, the vet center was started for or by maybe the Vietnam veterans.
Absolutely. We were founded by Vietnam veterans, and that community has been a fantastic resource for our Afghanistan veterans recently. So we actually just started a warrior support group. It's happening the first and third Mondays of every month. This group was started specifically because of the influx of OEF, OIF veterans that we had been seeing. Obviously, the withdrawal from Afghanistan triggered a lot of emotion for a lot of our veterans, especially our younger population here. So we have seen a very large influx of that generation of veterans reaching out for assistance. I walk around here and I talk to my clinicians and I tell them that the word that I've heard the most in 2021 has been anxiety. I've encountered, a lot of veterans this year that have walked up to me and said, you know what, Justyn, what I'm really struggling with right now is anxiety. And it's become such a common word for us to use that I feel like it almost gets pushed off to the side. It's like, of course I have anxiety. Everyone has anxiety. Well, you can come into the vet center and you can talk to one of our clinicians and they can help you with that anxiety. You don't just have to deal with it. You certainly don't have to bury it. There are tricks and techniques that can be taught to teach you to better deal with it and to manage it.
That's really good to know. And, you mentioned something about security clearances and whether or not somebody is active duty. Um, Around, not just in relation to veterans, but around mental health, there is a lot of stigma about folks reaching out for help. And, that's one of the things that, I'm really trying hard to raise awareness about just on Friday Friends and a lot of things that I do, because it's really important for everybody across the board. This whole COVID situation has really taken a toll on our mental health. Um, we are aware that it's statistically 22 individuals, 22 veterans a day take their own life. And this has been like a horrific year plus with pandemic. and then Afghanistan. I have heard, and I'll have Director Yarn on next week, that Rhode Island has done really well at keeping people connected so that some of the increases that we're seeing in other locations um, during the Afghanistan withdrawal were not happening here. And I really credit a lot of that to the outreach that we have here in Rhode Island, like through the vet center, that sense of community, that sense of connectedness. And truly, I see you or one of your counterparts when there's multiple events like yesterday
Hmm.
across the state. So when someone has a security clearance and they're concerned about the stigma of having some kind of diagnosis in their file, are the vet center records kept completely separate from your traditional VA medical record?
Absolutely. So even though we are both a part of the VA, again, we are different institutions. So we have access to all of the medical center records. We do work with the medical center. However, they do not have access to anything that we do. And again, that is congressionally mandated. I like to say over here at the Vet Center, we operate within our little bubble of confidentiality. The medical center and the Department of Defense are not allowed into that bubble without prior authorization. Now, that authorization must be given by both the veteran and the clinician. That's a conversation that you two will have behind closed doors. It's a conversation that I do not need to be a part of, nor will I be. We try to keep it, between as few people as possible. The confidentiality, it really is a pillar of what we do here at the Vet Center. It's what makes us different. It's what makes us special. It's why people like coming to see us. I always joke around with veterans, if you see me at Stop and Shop, I don't know you unless you want to know me. And if we keep on walking, that's okay too. Because it's Rhode Island and that's going to happen. I'm out and about everywhere. I run into veterans, and it's just part of working for the Vet Center is, you see a lot of veterans that you do recognize, but you hold back because you want to protect that confidentiality. As much as I want to say, hey, how's it going? How are you doing today? You wait. And, if they choose not to interact with you, that's fine. And that's part of being a veteran is, we understand each other. I'm not insulted if you keep walking. Maybe you're having a bad day. That's okay. That is okay. And we really want to foster that.
That's really important that people understand that it's not personal, um, that it's what that person sets as their own boundaries, that you respect that. I think that that's really important.
Absolutely.
Do you have the ability at the vet center to, if somebody can't get out of their house, to be able to go visit them at their house?
Uh, Technically, no.
Okay.
So we are not supposed to do house visits. It's
Okay.
it's a safety issue.
Okay.
Here at the vet center, again, we're not the medical center. We don't have all the resources available to us that they do. So a lot of what we do is in our building. And again, it's a separate building from the medical center. You wouldn't even know it's a VA building unless you had a reason to come see us. Um, and that's we really want to encourage people to come into the vet center to see our clinicians or take part in one of our activities. And our activities absolutely take place outside of the vet center as well. As we mentioned, the fishing trips, obviously, we have to go to Galilee or Westerly to go to. We're constantly trying to do, hiking trips. We've been working with Beyond the Battle, another great nonprofit in Exeter, Rhode Island, to get veterans involved with their organization doing. They do a lot of outdoor stuff, archery. I've been talking with them about starting a survival series for veterans where we learn to forage and build a shelter out of sticks, stuff like that. Things that I think veterans would really like. You know what? I thought I was going to learn this in the military, but I didn't. So let's go out and do it now with a bunch of other veterans and have a great time.
That
So
sounds great. I'll have to check out that nonprofit, see if I can get them to come on Friday Friends.
they would love to. It's Jeremy and Jess Edwards. Again, they're out of Exeter. They're fantastic people. Highly recommend you look into it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All those different things that help us stay connected. It's interesting because when your vets come in and you think of family, a lot of times you think of spouses and children. Are you able to help the parents of the veterans, particularly if the veteran is a younger veteran? or not.
So yeah, so like again, families are more than welcome to come into the vet center. The stipulation is that they have to be coming in for assistance or something to do with the service of the
Hmm.
veteran. And as
Yep.
long as that criteria is met, they're just as eligible to come in here and receive services as the veterans are themselves.
That's really good to know because I have spoken with parents whose children have served. Obviously, they're adult children. Um, and the parents are kind of at a loss to how to communicate effectively, where the services change their children and they're not really sure um, what's the right thing to do, quote unquote, and they want to make sure that they are able to engage in a healthy way with their children. And I haven't known where I could forward those individuals. So it's good to know that I can send them to the vet center and those parents can learn the skills that might be needed. And we also know that we have men and women who are coming back with injuries that in the past were not survivable. So, how do we look at caring for those individuals? Because a lot of times it may be the family members who are providing that care, and to get them that support too. What are you finding is the most popular fun thing for the veterans to come and do?
So the fishing charters fill up very quickly. I send out
Awesome.
an email to, I have an email blast I send out. It just says event alert, fishing charter. Usually within about 15 minutes, all those spots are filled. Again, when we do things like this, everything's free. You don't have to show up. The boat captains have all the rods and the reels and the bait ready to go. They have the experience and the know-how. You just need to show up and be ready to have a good time. And we always have a good time on our fishing charters. And that's through Veteran Angler Charters, which is another local nonprofit that is fantastic. And I know you touched on it, Rhode Island being a community and how we've been able to kind of weather this storm because of how close knit we are. And I just want to say that's 110% true. The people that I work with on a daily basis are, in most cases, they're personal friends. They're not only people that I see during the day, they're people that I text, when the day's over and say, hey, do you want to go out and, do something? So we're a very tight knit community here in Rhode Island. We all know each other. It's a first name basis kind of thing. So I always say, if I can't directly help you, I promise you, I know someone that can. And it's such a great team here. I know Director Yarn is always a fan of saying one team, one fight. It couldn't be more true here in Rhode Island. Help's always, it's just a phone call away. And most times, honestly, it's a text message is all it takes. And it's never going to be, here's a general number. I'm not going to give you the 273-7100 number to the medical center. I'm going to give you the person's name. I'm going to give you their extension. I'm going to tell you, say, hey, you know what? Tell them you spoke to Justyn. They know who I am. They're going to help you out. And that's what VA goes. We call it the warm handoff, but it's something here at the vet center that we take very seriously. And we're never just going to give you a general number and send you fishing around a government hotline. We can certainly do better than that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the things that I love when I have, folks I need to discuss resources with for you is it's not just call some generic number and, press 1 for this, 2 for that, rub your head, pat your belly, maybe you get a human.
Right.
That's really frustrating. So if people wanted to find out more information about the vet center, where can they call? How can they reach you?
Right. So they can always call us here at the Providence Vet Center. That's the 401-739-0167 number.
Hmm.
Our phones are monitored 24/7. So
Oh,
even if we
wow.
don't have somebody in the office, you will be transferred to the Veterans Crisis Line.
Okay.
And what you can do is just say, hey, I was trying to get in touch with the Vet Center. I would like some more information. And what they'll do is they will send every person on my team an email saying that Joe S is looking for vet center information. Would somebody mind giving them a call? And we come in the next morning, we see that email, and that's the call that we make. So we don't ever miss anything. If you're in crisis, if you need to talk to somebody, you can call that number. Call the Veterans Crisis Line. It's their job to stay on the phone with you and to help. So definitely recommend writing that number down. The
Yeah.
401-739-0167.
One of the things about the VA crisis line, it is answered here in Rhode Island, and um, was having a conversation with someone who kind of works in that unit, like the group that answers, and they have one of the fastest answer times in the country. So it's not when you're in crisis and you're calling for help that you have to, listen to the phone ring 20 times and say, all agents are busy, please hold. Like real people are answering quickly, very quickly.
Absolutely. And if we don't get back to you quickly, they will hound us, as they should.
Yeah.
So don't feel like, oh, this is just another, inbox or voicemail box that I'm just going to get dumped into and no one's going to get back to me. If
Yep.
you call that line, they will make sure that somebody gets back to you.
That's good. That's really important. Now, is
Absolutely.
for the website for the vet center, is that the vetcenter.va.gov? Is that the best website?
Right now it is. We are
Okay.
actually currently in the process of making new vet center websites. That's what I've been spending a lot of my office time on recently. So it's going to be more personable. So it's going to have more Providence Vet Center information on it rather than just a national page. So we are building up to that. That was a hole in our game that our district leadership had identified and said, okay, we're going to adjust this. And we are, the websites are live. We're just doing the edits right now. I imagine by the end of the month, we will have a Providence Vet Center webpage up.
That'll be awesome. Absolutely
We're looking
awesome.
forward to it.
And for folks who might be in need of help or looking for resources, you work. Do you work with women veterans as well, or is it mainly men?
Absolutely. Yes, no. So we work with all veterans, male or female. We actually have dedicated clinicians for female veterans that come in. A big thing that we do here at the Vet Center is counseling for military sexual trauma.
Oh,
We have a dedicated military sexual trauma counselor. She's amazing. Her name's Heather Tarducci. She's right down the hall from me right now. The thing with MST or military sexual trauma is we're not going to ask you to prove it. If you come into the vet center and you say you experience MST, we believe you right off the bat. There's no documentation needed. Again, all the confidentiality rules apply here. We can get you in to see Heather when you need to see her. It's really something that we focus on here at the vet center. And again, we want you to feel comfortable coming in. No one's going to ask you for proof. Just say, I experienced military sexual trauma, or I experienced MST, and we'll get you to the right people.
and MST can happen to both women and men.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So if you need help, if that's something that you've experienced and you want to talk to somebody, the vet center is a fantastic place for you to do so.
And you're believed.
It's second you walk in the door, we believe.
That's huge. Now, can the vet center help people apply for VA benefits?
So directly, it is not something that we do. However,
Okay.
again, I'm out in the community a lot, and it's my job to get to know the people that can do these things. Currently, we have Mike Rillinger from Veterans Inc. coming in twice a month to help veterans with service connection claims. We get a lot of requests from veterans for assistance with their service connection claims. It's probably the most common referral that I get. And we are constantly trying to connect our veterans with good resources who are going to help them get that claim in properly and in a timely manner. I'm 100% service connected myself. I've been through the process. I know that it can be kind of a bear to get through, but the benefits are so good that it is worth it. You've got to put in the time. You've got to work with the right people, and those benefits will come. You just have to be patient with it. But what we try to do here is really to get you in touch with the right people. We as I'm giving these referrals, I always follow up and I tell veterans like, hey, if I send you to somebody and for whatever reason you're not feeling it, call me back. I have more names and numbers. And I absolutely keep track of that. And that's how we kind of, refer out into the community. It's like, okay, you need help. I know a guy, he's helped, 5 veterans in the past 2 weeks and everything's, been accepted. It's fantastic. We're going to send you to that guy because you're going to get the results that we want you to get. So that's a big part of what we do here. I always say, I know we have eligibility here, and everyone gets their combat veterans, and they get all nervous, and they're like, "Oh, I'm not eligible to go there." We're not going to say no. If you walk up to the door and you say, "I'm a veteran, we need help," we're going to help you. We might not be able to help you in the building, but we're not going to send you away saying, oh, no, sorry, we don't do that here. We will connect you with resources that can help you.
That is I think the most important thing. Sometimes it takes folks a lot to get the courage to reach out and ask for help. Asking for help um, can be one of the most challenging things we do, I think, as adults. And when somebody finally gets that courage to ask for help, it's really good to know that if they show up at the vet center, it's not going to be like, oh, sorry, not us. It's going to be, you know what? Hold on. Let me get you the right person. Let's get you connected. And it's, you're going to talk to either Heather down the hall or Mike at this other agency, and if for some reason you as an individual, you're not vibing with that person that you got connected to, they can reach out to you and say, yeah, I don't really like this person, not really working. You have enough tools in your toolbox to be able to reach out and get people connected.
Absolutely. It's a big part of what we do. And that goes for our clinicians as well. Like if you come to the vet center and you're just not feeling the clinician that you get, we'll give you another one. No one's going to be offended. You're not going to hurt anybody's feelings. Like, you get it. You're here to get help.
Mhm.
So if you're not comfortable with the person that's helping you, we'll find somebody that you are comfortable with. That
Yeah.
is important to us. We want you to come here. We want you to enjoy coming here. Um, we don't want this to be like, oh no, I have to go to the vet center for another appointment. Like we want you to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to the vet center. I'm gonna run into Justyn. Like that guy's always goofy. We always have coffee in the waiting room. Usually there's some pastries that get dropped off. It's tough working 5 feet from that desk, but it's nice when veterans come in. They always seem to enjoy it. But yeah, it's meant to be. We say like we're VA light. Like you come in, it's just a more relaxed atmosphere. No one's running around crazy. Usually there's crickets or a wave machine going off in the hallway. It's just a different vibe altogether.
Yeah, I can attest to that. I have visited your center, and it has a very cool, relaxed, peaceful vibe to it with snacks.
With snacks. So snacks are always a perk.
That's good. That's really good. And I think it's important for folks to understand that there's not a charge for coming there, right?
None. We don't even have a mechanism to charge anybody if we wanted to. I would not know how to do that. So you come in here, everything is free. And if you see me out in the community, come and say hi. I usually have all kinds of swag out on my table. I try to get good stuff, everything from bandanas to eyeglass cleaners. I love the stress balls that we have. Yep. Steph has our vet center card holder. Personally, I don't trust those things, but I know a lot of people do. I'm always worried it's going to fall off my phone and there goes everything. Um, but yeah, we always have stuff, and don't be hesitant. Just come say hi. If you have any questions, even if it's not vet center related, again, I've been doing this for a little bit. I know a lot of people. I will find a way to help you, even if it's not me directly helping you.
And I know that you used to work for Congressman Langevin, so you can go up the
I
food
did.
chain. You have good friends.
Absolutely. I do. I do have good friends. Congressman Langevin's staff is incredible. We use them all the
Yes.
time here, especially with COVID going on. I know a lot of veterans have been struggling to get their records. The archives, they were pretty slow before the pandemic, and it didn't help. So right now, if you're looking for records, I highly recommend reaching out to your congressional representatives. That's going to be the fastest way for you to acquire those.
That's good. And do you serve all branches of the military?
Absolutely.
Okay. All
Although I will
branches,
admit,
all
I have
era.
yet to meet the Guardians. I have not met a Guardian yet. So
Oh, from
here
the
in Rhode
Space
Island,
Force?
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I always say, God help the first one that I meet because I have questions. But
They're
no,
going to
we have.
come.
They will eventually, just not yet. But yeah, we have coasties that come in here all the time. Marine sailors, soldiers. I'm never sure what to call the Air Force these days. They're air people. But and especially here in Rhode Island, our National Guard has a huge presence. So you'll see us a lot at the Carnival for Heroes or Yellow Ribbon events for pre and post deployment stuff. Working with our National Guard, we did a lot of work with them early this year, doing job resumes. Not something that we traditionally do, but it was a great opportunity to get in to help some of our younger National Guard members who are coming off of COVID orders, work on their job resumes and also tell them about the Vet Center in the process.
That's great that the National Guard also, because I not all programs include the National Guard, it seems.
So we actually just had the Vet Center Eligibility Expansion Act recently passed. It's a big deal here because it drastically expanded our eligibility. So if you are National Guard and you have served for 1 day on state or federal orders in response to an emergency, that could be a pandemic, it could be a flood, a blizzard, a hurricane, riots, whatever it may be, you are automatically Vet Center eligible for the rest of your life. And again,
Nice.
that's forever. So you can come in again free. It's confidential. You can get the assistance that you need. We've been really trying to spend as much time with our local National Guard as we can, just to get this information out there. To let them know, 1 day, most of the National Guard has been activated for, whether it was COVID or we had flooding issues or there was a blizzard and they had to go out. Automatically, Vet Center eligible now.
Nice. And
It,
that
it was a big
means that
deal.
their family can receive the support as well. Because
Absolutely.
we had many, many men and women who were out on the COVID front lines, who are still out on the COVID front lines, quite frankly.
Absolutely.
Um, and that can be really scary for the family members, you
Hmm.
know? So
And a
all
lot of
those
them were
different
very
pieces.
young.
Yeah.
They're very young military members serving, doing COVID. A lot of them that just got out of boot camp. This is all they've known. This is what the military is to them, is these COVID orders. So that's different. That's a different experience than I had in the military. It's a different experience than most of us have had. So we've
Yeah.
we've been trying to be there for them, saying, hey, these are the resources that you're eligible for now. Now that they have a chance to kind of slow down a little bit and think about, like, okay, what's going on? What am I eligible for? How can I get assistance? We're doing our best to let them know that we're here to help.
So let's see. You've got fishing, you've got yoga, you've got guitars. What else is it?
We have mindfulness, we have the art therapy group, we have some groups for our Vietnam veterans, of course. We were founded by Vietnam veterans, so they're near and dear to our hearts. We have quite a few that come through. We have World War II veterans that are still coming in. But yeah, we're trying to start up harmonica for veterans shortly. We're actually working with the local DAV to make that happen. We're actually looking to start a Dungeons and Dragons group here. Surprisingly, we have had a lot of interest in this, so that should be very interesting. But like I said, I have a really fun job. My job is really to find ways for veterans to interact with other veterans in a manner that's going to be fun. So a lot of times I'll be out and about. I have a young son, and we'll be going on these adventures, and I'll stop and say, you know what? If I'm having fun doing this, I bet a lot of other veterans are going to have fun doing this. And then that's when the wheels start to turn and say, okay, how can I turn this into a free event for veterans? Who do I know that can help me make this happen? That's a big part of what I do, and we've been pretty successful at it.
You are always out and about, my friends, and doing some really, really cool stuff.
I have a
Yeah.
very fun job. I'm very, very fortunate.
Yeah. And what you're doing is so important because you're having fun and you're helping people. You're helping people get connected to the resources that they need and helping people feel valued and cared about and loved. And that can make enormous changes in people's lives.
That's the best part about being a veteran working with veterans is, these are people that I would do this for free. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm glad I get paid for doing it. But this is not just what I do, it's who I am. Being a Marine, being a veteran is really what I've come to be as an adult. It's what I'm good at. I love helping my brothers and sisters. You love getting that call when someone just got the big retro check in for their service connection claim. And they say, thank you. Now my family can pay our bills and we can put food on the table. So there's no better feeling than that. Or even if it's just a veteran that, just goes fishing. And just, maybe it's the first time they've gone out of the house in a while and they're getting fresh air and you have the camaraderie. Just to watch that unfold is extremely rewarding. And it's why most of us are in this job.
Yeah. Yeah, and it makes all the difference. With Thanksgiving coming up, and the price of everything going up, does the vet center have the ability to get veterans and their families connected with food resources if they need it?
Absolutely. Again, if you have an issue, call us. Even if it's not something that we can directly assist you with, it's our job to know people that can. If you're looking for a turkey, I automatically say reach out to your local VFW. If your local VFW isn't giving out turkeys, I promise you they know of one that is. Um, over here in Warwick, we have Post 272, the Adam DeCiccio Memorial Post, which was recently renamed in honor of Adam, who was a good friend of a lot of us, who sadly passed away last December. I just spoke to their commander, and they're looking to give away turkeys. So reach out if you need something. The resources are here. We can help you, but we can't help you if you don't let us know that you need help. So
That's it.
just make that one phone call, and that's all it takes. I don't do everything in the world, but I know a lot of people. We will find someone that can help you. So if you have a problem, if you need help, just make one phone call. Especially here in Rhode Island, we all know each other.
Yeah.
So if you call Deb and you sound like you need help from the vet center, she's gonna give you my number. If you call me and it sounds like you need help with the state services, I'm gonna give you Director Yarn's number. We're all friends. We all have each other's personal numbers. Usually I'm calling Deb's cell phone. I'm not calling her office line. And that is the community that we have here in Rhode Island. And that's what makes it so fantastic is it's such a close-knit group. We all get along. We get excited to see each other at work.
Yeah.
It really is a positive atmosphere.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And it is good to be able to get connected. And it's, sometimes there are those situations that don't fall in one particular bucket. And so when there's a lot of different resources that you have at hand, you can really meet those needs of those individuals. So yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. No,
Justyn, this has been great. So if somebody wanted to reach the vet center, well, is the vet center considered a nonprofit?
Nope, we are a federal organization. I know whenever I'm out in the community, people are always trying to donate to me. We do not take donations. We don't take cash donations. If you want to write a
Okay.
check, that's a different story. You can always call and we can talk about that. But we are not here for donations. We are a federal organization. Again, we're part of the VA. So I always joke with people when they come up to try to give me a donation. I ask, do you pay your taxes? And of course, they say, oh, yeah, of course I pay my taxes. And I say, well, thank you for your donation. So no, we're federally funded. We don't take donations from the public. The VA funds us, as does Congress.
And so if somebody had they did something that they thought might be kind of cool for veterans to be involved with, whether that is, like you were saying, the archery program, or maybe they do their company does horseback riding or ATV excursions or canoeing excursions. If their company does that, can they reach out to the vet center to try to coordinate providing their services for free to the veterans?
Absolutely. That would make my job so much easier.
Mhm.
Yes, reach out to me if you want to donate any kind of activity or excursion, adventure, something that you think veterans are really going to enjoy, please reach out to me. We can make that happen. We have a lot of veterans here that love getting outdoors. They always want to get outside, have new things to do. We're always looking for new things to do. But a big part of being a federal employee is I cannot solicit for anything.
Right.
So I need you to ask me, and then we can make it happen. So if this is something that you want to do, please reach out. We will make it happen for you.
So if you're running a four-wheeler company, or we're heading into winter, snowmobiling, outdoors
Absolutely.
activities, reach out to Justyn to coordinate something and really make a difference in people's lives. So how do people get a hold of you again? What number should they call?
Yep, it's 401-739-0167. And again, you can just ask for Justyn. I promise everyone here knows who I am.
And or they can walk into your office. And where is your
Absolutely.
office located?
All right, so we are at 2038 Warwick Avenue. So we are just behind TF Green Airport. We're right by the Hoxie Four Corners with the Dave's Marketplace. We actually have a permanent Dell stand in our adjacent parking lot. It's a fantastic perk during the summer. It's all boarded up right now, but for $3.50, you can get yourself a medium lemon Dells with a pretzel stick.
And visit the vet center. So
And
you can
visit
get
the
your
vet center.
Dells, you can get your pretzel stick, you can get your coffee and donuts inside. You can have a munchy good time coming to the vet center.
It's a one-stop shop. We do it all.
Yes, that is awesome. And I think that really is the key message here, is that the vet center can be a one-stop shop for our veterans and their families in need.
Absolutely.
This is great, Justyn. Thank you so much for coming on today. It's
Thanks
always
for
so
having
much
me.
fun to talk with you.
I agree. I always look forward to our interactions.
Yes, I'll be watching for your next big adventures.
I'm sure they'll be coming up.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, Deb.
So I'm telling you, the vet center is really an amazing place. I've said it before, I am not a veteran. But I definitely support the men and women who are serving, who have served, who will serve in the future, and their families. The vet center, Justyn is an amazing guy. He truly is all over the state. So if you see the tent set up with the vet center, stop in and say hi. If for some chance it's not Justyn at the table, that's okay. Stop in and say hi, because Justyn's probably off at another event. It's about getting the word out, because help is available. And they do just like a lot of cool things as groups of veterans. So make sure, if you're someone in need, give them a call, 401-739-0167. If you're looking for cool stuff to do, check out the vet center. In the meantime, I'm looking forward to seeing you all here next week. We will be speaking with Jeff Hill from the Department of Health and Director Justyn Charon from the Office of Veterans Services right here at 9 o'clock on Friday, as we do every week. And I look forward to seeing you all at 9 a.m. next Friday. In the meantime, be kind and be well.
If you liked this video, please follow us on social media and subscribe on YouTube. For more information, visit rielderinfo.com or call 401-585-0509. If you have any questions, email deb@rielderinfo.com.